Today's adventure begins, as the recording of this Tuesday, well, the entire recording of this, not just beginning, but the entire day will be Tuesday, June 14th, 2022. I think I said 2020 the other day. Sometimes it takes a couple of years before you get the date right. 2022, usually the first couple months back in the day when you would write checks. Well, I used to write checks. It took me till about March or April to get the date right of the new year. The other day I said it incorrectly, 2020. It's really 2022, Tuesday, June 14th, as the recording of this. My 50th, yes, 50, 10 times 5, 50 days I have been on the road on this current road trip away from my homestead of Celebration, Florida. I'm going to celebrate with a sip of coffee right here under the mountain range. Bountiful, I believe, is the name of this community here in Utah. Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. Sometimes it's a conscious, sometimes it's a non-conscious decision whether to put the sunglasses on in the intro or have them off. It is really bright, so I'm choosing, this is a very, very busy coffee stand. I'm choosing to, I could go non-sunglass, the sun's right there, but it's kind of reflecting off this tent. There's a tent right here. I don't know what this tent is for. I could peek in there, but I don't want to give any spoilers. That's none of my concern. I'm inviting you to join me. I am excited, 50 days on the road. It's interesting and unique because I can recall back when I started this TheDailyWoo channel, which was about 10 years ago. Now granted, at 5 years, I stopped, took some time off, and then started peppering them back in, and it had been pretty much full force this year and last year, give or take a day. But I started this channel almost 10 years ago. In fact, I have a tattoo here of a 5 that I got back on the 5-year anniversary that I went without missing any days. I had missed 0 days at all. No days were missed. Since then, I have missed days. In fact, I was going to kind of do some other projects, which I did, took a couple months off, and then 2018 kind of got the ball rolling again. Didn't really think I'd be going back to doing daily, but I have been doing daily pretty consistently, and in the last 50 days have been staying that course and on the road. And I am here to announce I have no plans yet to go back to Florida. It will be at least probably another month. Okay, that was very long-winded. Let me go ahead and just invite you to join me. If I didn't say it already, sometimes the intro goes on for so long I forget if I said it or not. To join me, shall you? I'm going to get a sip. And I want to show off some items that I recently acquired that I think a lot of people will find interesting. They are just too good not to document for posterity. But here's the name of this place. It's called Sips. Now I am all into lattes. They have a vanilla latte, a mocha latte, a hazelnut latte. I'm going to just kind of stick with what I usually get at most places if I do not get a regular hot, you know, just a basic coffee. I will go with a latte. I'm going to go with the hazelnut latte. I like to try new coffee places and not just stick with the same old, ones that are kind of local to an area. We also have breakfast foods and stuff, but I'm just going to get, I rarely will eat breakfast in the morning. I'll eat breakfast food at night, but I rarely will eat breakfast unless I'm with someone that wants to get some food. Today, just getting a liquid breakfast, coffee. I'm gonna have a sip. I went ahead and placed my order, but I'm noticing, looking at the sign, it says, make your day rosy with an iced rose milk tea, now hiring. I've noticed a lot of folks around Utah, at least the Salt Lake City area, greater Salt Lake City area, don't drink a lot of hot coffee, at least the friends I have and those that I have met in passing. But I am going to swim upstream, if you will. I'm gonna be the sheep that is the outcast and get a hot coffee. I also really like this Papa's Steakhouse across the way. That is a pretty neat retro sign there. Papa's Steakhouse, the old neon with the arrow. The arrow is kind of pointing away from the steakhouse, though. It's pointing the other way across the road. Even got some old neon on the marquee. In my day, I have taken a lot of sips of piping hot caffeinated beverage, but I've never taken a sip of a coffee from a place named Sips. Oh yeah, that's definitely a hot hazelnut latte. Usually my drink of choice. When I'm home, have the K-Cups. They would just make a regular coffee. But when I go to any kind of place, if they have any sort of latte, Hazelnut will be my first choice, and then vanilla. I'm gonna show a couple things that I got. This is gonna be a very casual video. Not really gonna go on any excursions, adventures. I am hitting the road and going into another state tomorrow, traveling, not back to Florida, but cross country even further. And I will do my, well, not really an unboxing, even though I'm gonna be taking stuff out of a bag and showing it off, but I do not have a hose to hang up here. I'm gonna do it in front of this very unique building, maybe around the, not the backside of water, but the backside of this building. I'm just kind of knocking out all the sayings. I don't see any flowers. There are flowers, I'd say, are those petunias. Did not bring my skateboard, nor would I probably be able to traverse the side of that incline very well, but I would imagine they put that sign on there because they do not want people using this as a sweet skate spot. With that shop in the distance, I'm going to utilize this roof with satellite dish, and still don't know what's over there in that tent, and I'm not even going to look. I'm going to let the curiosity dwell inside my head for quite some time. I'm not even going to go over there and look. Sometimes I wonder why the heck I even do this. Like, why even go out? Why not enjoy my couch at my homestead in Celebration, Florida? Why not sit around, watch TV, watch movies? My mind really does not work that way right now in my life. I like to travel. There will come a day, probably not off in the extreme future, but in some sort of relative future, might be a year or two, maybe less than a year, that I will taper down the travels and maybe just be doing content and adventures in just Florida. So that might happen. Right now I kind of have the bug traveling, but the bug seems to be dwindling in my mind a little bit here and there. I've gone to a lot of places, and sometimes it's nice to just be home. Right now is not the time to be home. All right, let me show what I got. Also, let me talk about 50 days. When I started this vlog back in 2012, I did a video where I was standing on an overpass overlooking the turnpike in Kissimmee or maybe St. Cloud, Florida, and talked about how 50 days is what an accomplishment 50 days was. It blew my mind to do 50 days. It was called the 50-day video or the 50-day vlog. And now, not even doing 50 days of videos in a row, in cadence, in sync, stating each day the date. I always like to throw the date stamp in there to keep things relevant and keep myself, you know, in a timeline, and also show that I'm not stockpiling anything. I'm going out the day of. Kind of like a 24-hour challenge to go out, film during the day, edit at night, upload the next said day of the stated day that I filmed. So that's basically how I do things. And I always try to go out in the morning, sometimes at night, like the other night I went to this place. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I have been not sticking to my diet that I was on. My whole goal was by Dragon Con, which is the 1st of September, end of August, to be down to a weight I felt comfortable with. I am not at that weight. I have been slacking. My family was in town for about 2 weeks here, visiting. Mom and Dad flew out. Sister is here. Her husband is here. We went down to Arches National Park, went to some national parks, went to Canyonlands, did a lot of stuff around Salt Lake City. They have flown home this morning early. Well, I think a bug just like went on my Rays cap. Also, I miss going to live baseball games. I went to quite a few, and I might do a couple more before heading back to Florida away Rays games. Spoiler alert, I will not be back in Florida for at least another month. That's a long time. It's already at 50 days. Another month will be 80 days? I'm not going around the world in 80 days. Wow. Should I try to go for 80 days? Some AdamTheWoo action figures that my friend made for me. Very amazing. Went to dinner with a friend in Las Vegas. And he goes, I got something for you. He had them made in 2021. As everyone realizes, 2020 and 2021, kind of a wacky time. There wasn't a lot open. Couldn't really hang out with a lot of close friends. It was frowned upon, and you had to be cautious. So I hadn't seen him for a couple of years. So these will be dated 2021, but I just got them a couple weeks ago. Now my friend's name is Ken, and Ken gave me these items. One of them, he fooled me into thinking that he had given me a roto wipe, which might be a hint, but I don't know if it was a hint. But he gave me this in a roto wipe. He fooled me. by giving me this roto wipe, which I've never tried one of these. Kind of like a bidet, maybe? Yeah, a roto wipe automatically raises and lowers, and I got really excited thinking, wow, I could maybe use this. You know, I go to a lot of baseball games, maybe I could take it at the stadium like this. This is not a weight loss video or anything, but I just want to kind of announce that I'm going to get back on track with my diet, try to, you know, start eating better. Family time. Also, I was in LA hanging out with a lot of friends, and when you hang out with family and friends, people you haven't seen in a long time, what does everyone want to do? Eat. Dan O'Bano, he is the one that created this. Now, my friend Ken had Dan O'Bano make this one and 3 other ones. And I'm going to show them in the order that they were given to me, because I think the order of them is really applicable to how exciting it is. Now, some might not realize some of the nods that are in these, but this one basically is my old van right here. There's the old van that I had, my Ford E150, and I'm wearing the Area 51 shirt, which was the first time I met my friend who had this made back at Disneyland years and years and years ago. This is really cool, has my tattoos on it. Now, these are not for sale. You cannot go on the Dan O'Bano website and purchase these. They are not made in quantity. These are custom made out of old action figures. He takes the pieces apart and in great detail makes these. You can see right here how much detail there is. The old glasses are on there and everything. Something that is legendary. The bike wreck action figure. That's so good. How did he create this? Time and a lot of talent that I do not have. Labeled the Bike Wreck Edition. There's me flying through the air with my Marty Moose Wally World shirt on. It's not, everything is correlated to the particular video and episode and moment that I had. That's what I was wearing on the front of it. There's my name there, AdamTheWoo. This is really legit. Look at the bent tire. Tacoed the tire. Bent tire along with, I went through a phase, sometimes I still do it, but I went through a phase where I wore an undershirt and an overshirt. I also had the old-timey glasses on right there. The original glasses, which were Disney glasses. They had the Mickey on them and they faded off. They're really tough to find anymore. In fact, Disney doesn't even make those glasses anymore. That's why I wear different glasses. But this is a thing of beauty. I laughed out loud so much when he showed me this. I'm gonna treasure this and the original one. So you got Bike Wreck Edition, and let's not forget about the one before, the Classic Edition. And then I got to thinking, what else would there be? What else could there be? And lastly, of the 3, who can forget the Beaver Hoop Edition? Equipped with Bucky's dung between my flip-flop, which really happened in a video, easily searchable. Bucky's, TheDailyWoo, easily searchable. And look at this, it even has my Back to the Future tattoo on the leg. And this is what I was wearing. I was wearing my hoodie inside there. And you can see, that's before I went on a little weight loss plan. You can see my tummy is kind of barreling out there more than in recent days. I do not want to get back to that point, so that's why I'm going back on it. This is awesome. Dan O'Bano is the one who created this. Easily searchable. Dan O'Bano, there's his info. And around the back, there's more of the info. Again, he made these in 2021, but I did not see my buddy until this year when I was in Vegas. We went out to dinner, and he goes, I got something for you. It was a roto wipe, and inside the roto wipe box, he didn't really give me a roto wipe. I think of the 3 of them, this is my favorite because this is like a legendary moment. This is probably my second favorite. These are kind of tied, but I would say this is maybe a slightly more legendary moment that anyone that has watched my videos for quite a while, they bring this up all the time. This is more of a deep cut, and then this is more of your standard one. Dan O'Bano custom made this, and I can't even imagine how long it took to create these. I don't know the backstory on it. I don't know how it all works, what the process is, how much it is, anything like that. All I know is a good friend of mine gave me an amazing set of action figures dedicated. I would never make these for myself, but when someone else does, I have to really show. I cannot go without showing these off, because this is awesome. Could that be a thumbnail? It might be a thumbnail. Also, side note, all my thumbnails within the last 4 or 5 years are all taken right from the video. I don't add anything in. I put no text over the front of it. I don't use any Photoshop. It's all taken from the real video, which is kind of awkward. I'd probably be more successful if I did it the way it should be done, but I'm weird. All right, there it is. Bike Wreck Edition. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate everyone watching. Been doing these videos for a long time. I'm gonna continue doing them, but there is an end goal in sight. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep doing the daily vlogs, but there will come a point when the daily vlogs, not today, not tomorrow, not on this road trip, probably not even this year, but at some point, the vlogs will have to say adieu, and I'll have to move on to other projects. But for now, I'm really enjoying this, and I love the fact that everyone tags along. Da-da-da-da-da. 50 days on the road. I've said so much, yet I've said so little. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.